1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Howdy folks, thanks for checking out the lesson here for Reuben's Train. As you just saw and heard, I played through the tune 3 times essentially. There's 3 different arrangements as the melody is very similar for the verse and the chorus. So I have 3, again, versions of solos you can take. The first time is kind of, very basic, right down the middle, beginner, and then the second and third time will be more advanced and we'll move along the fretboard as well. We're going to walk through that first arrangement right here. I'm going to put the tabs up on the screen. If you want to access the full-length version, download the tabs and the multi-speed backing tracks. Click the link in the description below. All right, so let's put those first few measures on the screen there. I'm going to play them and then break them on down. There's no pickup here, so it starts right on the downbeat of the first full measure. And here's what it sounds like. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're doing the melody and we're mixing it in with some strumming as well. We'll talk about those strum patterns. That first measure, I should probably mention the fingering here just a little bit. I'm using my pinky on the 3rd fret B and my second finger on the 2nd fret G string. You could do 3 and 2 as well. I find it really comfortable to use my pinky and my second finger. I'm gonna have to use my first finger in a little bit to catch a note back here, so I'm kind of preparing, if you will, for that move. You could do the traditional D shape like this, but then I'm gonna have to kind of hop out of that, and it's played so fast. That makes it not quite efficient. So I'm going to be using this fingering. You can kind of mess with it as well. That first strum there, as you notice, is across the open D, open G, and the 3rd fret B string. And then I'm going to hammer 2 on the G. Okay, so 1 and then I'm going to do a strum, down, up, and then pluck just the open G and the 3rd fret B. And then the 3rd fret D. Okay, so getting some nice, it's nice to get, plucking those 2 or 3 strings and just sounding those. If you hit more, it's not necessarily the end of the world, but if you can kind of just get those, 2 or 3 strings nice and even, it'll sound even better and cleaner. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And going on to measure 2 here. 0, 2, same thing. It starts off the same way measure 1 did. And then there's a strum in there, right? So 1 and 2, 3 and 4. And so let's talk about that strum because we're going to be using it. Like I said, the first beat, I'm going to pluck those 3 strings, right? Or kind of almost a downstroke or a brush strum, but hammer 2 on the G. And then here I'm going to do a strum down, 2 and 4 and 2, 3 and 4 and. So those lines in there that's connecting the notes is a tie. So there's no strum on beat 3, and you'll see that with the pick directions in there as well. There's no pick marking there. So there's a tie in that, you want to watch out for that. Keep the right hand moving through the tie. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1 and 2, 3, and 4, and. Okay? Then measure 3, we same thing, started off the same way. A lot of this going on, this little hammer 2 on the G. Then strum. Then G and the B string. Remember the G's open there though. And 3 on the D. So measure 1 and 3 are exactly the same. And then measure 4 kind of ends this first phrase on the open D. And then we do that same strum we just worked on. 1, 2, melody is only about 8 bars long, okay? So and the melody is pretty much the same for the verse and the chorus part. It's just kind of different words. Of course, you know, depending on who you listen to sing and play this tune, you know, they might do different inflections on the melody for the verse, you know, the verse or the chorus, depending. But all in all, it's kind of largely the same melody line, and thus we only really have 8 bars to learn. I do, you know, change it up here. I've kind of got 3-ish arrangements written up, or 3 variations on that melody. But again, you can almost do the first 8 bars a couple times in a row as the main melody, because again, it's largely the same. So the first half here, 4 bars long. So I'm gonna play those first 4 in context. So 1, 2, ready, go. Again, 2, little faster. Okay, moving on to the next 8 bars, or I'm sorry, the next 4 bars. And that kind of takes us into the next solo, right? Measure 8 is kind of the end of this first time through, if you will. So measure 5, we're going to do that, I guess, triple stop, if you will, and hammer 2 on the G string. But that's second finger, so we're going to do it twice. 1 and 2 and, okay? 1 and 2 and then strum. And then right here, first fret of the B. And then next measure, it goes to the A chord. The melody stays on the A note. Second fret G there. And then a little bit more of an 8th note or flat picking run here. So 1, 2, and then 0, 2 hammer on the G, pulled 0, 3 on the D, and the melody ends on the low D. So that measure 6 is 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Let me do that again. I missed the pull off. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and then measure 7, open D, and the strum pattern we worked on, 2, 3, and 4. And measure 8 essentially is the pickup into the next solo, right? So I play the open D by itself, and then I do a kind of an 8th note run, a pickup into that next melody. So 2 and 3 and, so all on the open D there for a bit. 2 and 3, and then 3rd fret, then open G, 1st fret, and then we'll go to the 2nd fret. Okay, so let me play those first 8 bars all the way through. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so that's it for the first arrangement. If you want to access the full-length lesson, the second and third arrangements, plus download the tabs and the multi-speed backing tracks, click the link in the description below. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to watch some other lesson clips around me, feel free to do so as well. And I'll move on when you're ready. Take care.